Tisha here, and we are back for another Married to Medicine review. And once again, I am disappointed by Bravo's showings for Sunday night episodes. Married to Medicine used to be something that I really enjoyed, and something about this is not working for me. I don't know if it's the fact that there's more going on right now on social media than there is on this show, but we're just going to go ahead and go with it. So, we're still in Napa. Jackie and Heavenly are sitting at the table having breakfast. Breakfast, talking about Quad. Jackie points out how when Heavenly was talking, that she could tell that she was very hurt by what Quad had said and that it's okay to admit it. And Heavenly admits that she was hurt. And she says she can admit that she was hurt and she's growing just like how Toya's growing. They then talk about how Toya being a part of the group has elevated her and how she, has risen to a higher level. No matter what Toya does, a part of them will always look down upon her because she's not a doctor, similar to the way that Jackie first looked down on Heavenly because Heavenly is not a doctor. According to Jackie, she's a dentist. So it just goes to show you how at the end of the day, to their core, there are going to be certain thoughts. And at some points, these ladies do look down upon people who are not in their profession. Jackie says that at this point, her and Heavenly have known each other for 10 years and they've come very far, which they have. We find out that Heavenly is even leaving early because she's going to Aurora's graduation. She's excited and she's proud of her and she can't wait to go on FAMU, I hope I'm saying it right, campus with her and enjoy seeing the people stomp the yard and things of that nature. I will say this, I did not go to a HBCU. However, I partied a lot at HBCUs and it is a different atmosphere. I know when we had things at my school for like the Black Student Union and the West Indian Student Union and the African Student Union, things that I was a part of, you did get some of that vibe, also like with step shows and stuff like that. But it's just a different feeling on a minority campus. So Heavenly says that Aurora is doing very well. She's very proud of her. And the only thing at this point that will mess up the track that she is on is if she gets pregnant. I think all of her kids are doing well. If I remember correctly, I saw that one of her sons is in some type of medical college. I don't know which one, but he's enrolling in one. So they're all on a decent track. Jackie says that she did call Aurora. She tells Heavenly that, and she says she let Aurora know that she is Olivia Pope, the Olivia Pope of vaginas, and if she gets in trouble, she needs to make sure that she calls Jackie and she'll have the gladiators ready. I appreciate that message because it speaks volumes to the bond that they have formed. I know that there's a lot going on right now on the internet about Jackie. I don't know exactly what was said. I purposely did not watch the videos. I may watch it at some point, but I don't think I'm really going to speak on what's being said right now. Maybe further down the line, like when it comes time for reunion, because I'm sure it's going to be brought up. But as of right now, because I don't know the ins and outs of it, I don't really want to discuss it. Jackie said that after her conversation with Aurora, that Aurora did understand and receive what she was saying. Heavenly says, do you think she's going to call you before she calls me? And Jackie says, yes, because her mom overreacts at some things. They laugh about it and see. We see the ladies meeting. Toya, Tisha, and Dr. Alicia arrive first. And as they're sitting there, Tisha does say that she felt heard yesterday when talking with the ladies, and she does feel better about the situation. We find out that Toya, Alicia, Simone, and Phaedra are going to go to a mud spa, whereas Jackie, Heavenly, and Tisha are going to go on a tuk-tuk tour. Tisha can't get in the mud because she's on her cycle, and so she's getting sent with Jackie and Heavenly. And Toya thought this would be a good bonding moment, but I don't really feel like it was a bonding moment. I feel like Tisha already feels like these ladies are so old that she kind of doesn't give herself the opportunity to bond with them in different ways. We'll get more into that down below. Phaedra is late. She has no sense of timing, but when she arrives to the vehicle, she tells them that she was running late because she woke up with diarrhea, and apparently some other ones had the same problem too, but they took something for it. They arrive at the spa. They're going to be in mud that apparently smells like cow manure, and we find out that it has volcanic ash in it, and it stinks. It's for joints, muscle pain, arthritis, things of that nature. Then there's also 2 mineral baths, so it's 2 of each. I would take the minerals for 4,000, please. I don't want to be in anything that looks like that, even if it's beneficial to my skin. I want to be a little bit smoother, or really know that my orifices are closed, if you know what I'm saying. We hear about Phaedra and her flower, and how she wants it to smell good, and it has to smell like peaches and all those other things. And Toya and Alicia are in the mud that smells like manure. So we then see the other ladies that are at the tuk-tuk, and the max speed is 25 miles per hour. If you can't see the show, it basically looks like one of those old school vans that you would see back in the 70s meets a golf cart. That's the best way I can explain it. The max speed, I'm sorry, that's the best way I can say it. The max speed is 25 miles per hour. They ride out to a wine spot where we see them eat cheese and veggies. Then they talk about the charcuterie board. Tisha calls it a coochie board, and Dr. Jackie tells her, please don't mess up the piece by calling it that. Jackie is a little prude sometimes. Like, she has another side. I just think that she has her walls up when it comes to Tisha. And the way Jackie comes off across sometimes, I don't think she'd be somebody that I would want to go have fun with. Sweet Tea's then seen in confessional saying that these ladies are as old as her grandma. I need her to come back with something other than that. Maybe it would be funny if she said this and she wasn't married to someone who's even older than the ladies that she's talking about, but it's not landing for me. Okay. So Sweet Tea says that we're Black women with vaginas, and that's about the only thing that we have in common. I respect them, but they're like gentle old ladies. Heavenly is 52 during this scene. She's 53 now because I looked it up. Me personally, I have friends even older than that, as well as my age group, and even some younger than me. I don't feel like I'm geriatric or that they are, just because we aren't in the same age demographic. Sweetie is sitting here talking crap like these ladies are in their late 80s. Not only that, Greg is 56 years old. I went and looked it up. So you're talking about these women being your grandmother's age when you really need to talk about your husband being in your grandma's age department. It's funny how Sweet Tea forgets that people like us will sit here and look these things up. She looks down upon people, and she says certain things that later come to bite her in the butt, like her whole situation with her womb. And I'm going to be careful about how I talk about it, but be careful of the things that you say, because I think a lot of women take for granted their bodies and what it entails to be able to carry a successful pregnancy, okay? We have the men. They are enjoying cigars, talking about Kimba and his views. That's the person who's married to Dr. Alicia, and how the other ladies aren't going to be like Alicia and back down. Eugene thinks that he's barbaric, where we see later in confessional that Toya thinks he's delusional. We then hear from Cecil that he's from Nigeria and grew up in Jamaica, and as a result, this is why he is the way he is. I cannot speak for the fact that he's Nigerian. I have Nigerian friends, Ghanaian friends. I have friends from all over. I have a lot of African friends. And one thing that I will say is that there are variations when it comes to that. And him speaking like he has knowledge of those households is ridiculous to me. I will speak for my upbringing. My family is Jamaican, and in my household, please understand that my father did have certain expectations, but there were things that he was willing to do, example, cook dinner, example, clean, that may have been deemed as woman duties. And I'm using these because I think that whole segment was a little ignorant on all of their parts. Even with Simone and her comment about saying where he's from, don't say he's from Zamunda or whatever, trying to be funny about it. You need to take this seriously because what you're saying could be offensive to some people. In my household, my father was willing and is still willing to do certain things. My father will make breakfast. My father will make dinner. My father will be cleaning and doing some more stuff that they deem to be womanly things. So I didn't like that aspect. So we get back to Dr. Alicia. She says her husband, now that she's been gone, has a newfound appreciation for her. With her being gone, that they have different views about what men and women should do. We then see a clip of him telling her to clean the place because it's a pigsty. I am looking at him already, side-eyeing him, because he doesn't seem like he's normally involved with the kids. We already heard him say to the men in the previous episode that this is his first time watching his kids. And I think one of them was like 5, and this is your first time watching them. On his own, there's a problem with that. I don't like how he spoke to her in that clip because the same way she works, he works, and they both could clean up together. She says she's learning to adjust and set boundaries. This is why it's very important before you get married to people to do premarital counseling. There are conversations that come up in these sessions that you may not have on a regular basis. Example, what are your expectations when it comes to the home? What are your expectations when it comes to child rearing? What are your expectations when it comes to what you're willing to do versus what you expect of me to do? But it doesn't seem like they had those, because why are you now just talking about adjusting and setting boundaries? It seems like something that should have happened prior. Alicia says she was taught that she doesn't need a man, but there's times where she's seeing that she does, and Toya agrees. Phaedra says that she doesn't feel like she wants to be married, that people like her who are in higher income are put in danger by marriage. Phaedra then talks about how she was happy when she was with her ex and how the bad divorce put a bad taste in her mouth, so she doesn't want to be in that place again. We've seen Phaedra on TV for many years, off and on, and at no point have we seen Phaedra vulnerable. I think that Phaedra is an actress. I think that she does a very good job at distracting us. I didn't like her prior to all of this because of what she did previously to Candy. I found myself quickly being entertained by her, but I am remembering one of the reasons why there were times where I did not care for her. Why is Phaedra up here? Because she's not giving us anything. We don't really know much about her life. She doesn't really tell us the ins and outs of things. There are a lot of speculations about her situation with her ex and what she knew versus what she didn't know that she could have addressed. Her boys are already aware of it, according to her. They are aware of why their father was arrested and things of that nature because they've seen it online. So I don't understand why she can't divulge more. I'm over like the little frisky comments and the different attire and the different wigs and the circus of it all. Let us know you. That's part of what makes reality enjoyable, is us feeling like we get a little taste of your life. So all the ladies meet up for dinner except Heavenly because she's gone. At this point, Simone is... I don't know what I was trying to write here. I have no idea. Okay, we're going to skip whatever I said about Simone. Heavenly didn't text Jackie and ask her where... Oh, Heavenly's been texting Jackie and asking her, like, what's going on? How did this event go? How did that event go? Jackie's saying she obviously misses us. Toya asks what everybody has coming up next. They talk about some things. Jackie talks about the president thing and how much that means to her. And Tisha says that she's ready for a baby, but she has to get her other stuff straight first. Jackie told her that I told you if you try for a while and you find yourself having difficulties, that I can find you a uterus. Simone then asks, what's the wait time for surrogacy? Jackie says it varies. There are some couples that don't even want you to have sex while their baby is in your womb. So it all depends. The more stipulations that you have, the more that time is lengthened, which makes sense because it's harder to find surrogates that are willing to comply with certain things. We then hear Toya talk about something. I don't blame him. I wouldn't want no one else's sperm being on my baby's head. And then she says that even Dr. Eugene said that even though he's a doctor and he knows that these babies are in the womb and they're protected. I mean, they're in amniotic fluid and all these other things. But for some reason, this is what he says. And it's just dumb. We talk about their favorite parts of the trip. Then at some point they talk about Quad, how the writing was on the wall that they would be, parting ways and how accountability is key. And Jackie says that even her and Simone had problems. And one of the reasons why they were able to eventually fix things is because you own it, you fix it, and you move forward. They have fixed things, but they have not come back to where they were. But good try, Jackie. So the ladies are back. Eugene is assisting Toya in taking out her hair. He is very serious. He puts his flashlight on and everything so he does not cut her hair while cutting that thread. And I can appreciate it. I'm not mad at it. Let me tell you something. Y'all see these twists that are in my head. I do them myself. Most of the time I do my hair myself. With that being said, these parts, especially ones in the back of my head, who did them? My son. Son, can you come here? I need you to part back there. Make sure it's straight. Okay, let me look in the mirror. Do this, do it. Yes. So I get why Toya needed that assistance. We then have Alora talking to her mom about her leaving and things of that nature and saying how, I'm not going to be here anymore. I think this would be a really good time for you to work on your relationship with your sister. Alora wants her to make more of an effort. Alora says that they both need therapy, that she feels like their mom pitting them against each other has caused a lot of major issues. And Heavenly tries to, talk about things and try to act like it's all on her sister. And Alora's like, no, Mom, it's on both of you. You got some things too. Heavenly says that she'll reach out to her. And Alora says, okay, we'll call her right now. One thing I like about Alora used to come off as very bratty to me, very much of a know-it-all. Sometimes I felt like she was talking to her mother inappropriately. But at this age, I can appreciate Alora calling her mother out on her stuff. And I feel like she is the only one that can really get Heavenly together. And I love it. She ends up calling her sister. She gets a voicemail. She leaves a nice message. And Heavenly says, even with the message that she left, she's trying to be careful because her sister is real sensitive. And I just listened to Heavenly talk about her sister. And I'm like, Heavenly, the same thing applies to you. They both are sensitive. Heavenly says that we used to fight a lot. I still have scars on my face from how much we used to fight. And Alora says she used to beat you up. And Heavenly's like, yeah, I don't want to get beat up no more. And they laugh about it. And that's the end of that. We then have Tisha. Tisha goes to the doctor to find out more about her, I'm going to call it her uterus and stuff like that. She tells the doctor about all the pain that she's having related to her ovaries. We find out that during most of the trip, she was medicated. She had to take a muscle relaxer because of the pain. She's asked how often she changes a tampon during her periods, and she says that she has to change it every 3 hours. Her doctor says that that is not normal and that she did look at her imaging, and based on what she's seen, it looks like she has endometriosis as well as fibroids. Endometriosis means that she has tissue growing in other areas that get inflamed. She also has 2 large cysts, one which is 5 centimeters and the other which is 7 centimeters. And the doctor is recommending surgery and letting her know that she will have challenges getting pregnant. Tisha begins to cry, and she tells her that 50% of women with endometriosis have infertility issues, but it's not impossible for her to get pregnant. And we see that she's emotional. And this is the part where I'm saying, we take for granted our bodies. I've heard a lot of times where women make certain insensitive comments in regards to giving men babies. Example, what Tisha said in the comment section in the DM in order to get Greg could have been seen is disrespectful to Quad, because we don't really know Quad's medical history in terms of why she didn't have a baby. Now, we were told she was on birth control and things of that nature, but do we really know everything? No. And here now Tisha is, and unfortunately, she's facing this problem because she wants to be a mom, and that was one of the main selling points that she had that got Greg's attention. She says that she wants to teach a child to have values and morals, and not being able to have a baby is devastating. We see her call Greg to tell him about having the issues with conceiving and what they said. And he says we have to be positive and stay prayed up about it. I did appreciate his response. She says she's scared and she wanted to give him a baby because that's one of the main things they talked about. And he says it's going to be okay. I did like how he was for her. I don't know if he's going to continue to feel that way once the cameras are down, but it did sound kind of genuine. At this point, Greg is 56. Men can have babies for a long time, but they're really going to have to test his swimmers to make sure that they are quality swimmers, because at his age, there are different things that can come with that. Just like we're geriatric, men do have some things related to them being older and their sperm. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And I just want to say that for them, surrogacy could very much so be an option. Not that that makes it any easier, because I'm sure most women want to have the ability and the opportunity to carry their children. So I don't want to be insensitive to the fact that even though it's an option, that it might be hard for her to make that decision. Overall, this episode was meh, but I don't know. We'll see what comes. I hope it picks up. I can tell that there's going to be a lot of issues with this Dr. Alicia and her husband. I think it's real funny how we're just now really being introduced to these people when we've seen Dr. Alicia multiple times, and now we want to give them more spotlight. Why? Because Quad's gone? I don't get it. You all, please like the video. Please subscribe if you have not already. I would say we're on the road to 1,000, but I'm at 1,000. Nothing's there. Thumbs up the video. And until next time.